My name is Dr. Shahid. I'm a general pediatrician and medical educator. And in this video series, we've been talking about how to prevent burnout and how to develop resilience for doctors and medical students. We've been focusing on different self-care strategies in the most recent series. So today we're going to focus on the self-care strategies of mindfulness, meditation, and faith and spirituality. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is my overview of wellness and burnout, in which wellness and burnout are on opposite ends of the spectrum. And if we can do things that develop resilience, that can help prevent burnout. And the blue arrows mean that there's overlap with all of this. So in this most recent series, we've been talking about self-care. And we've been talking about different aspects of self-care. In other videos, we've talked about various aspects of that. But in today's video, we're going to talk about meditation, mindfulness, faith, and spirituality. Again, in other videos, I've talked about nutrition, sleep, and exercise, and then also in another video about relaxation techniques and deep breathing, a daily release, and other things. So you can check out those separate videos. And again, in other videos, I've talked about different resilience strategies as well. So feel free to check those out as well. But let's focus on meditation, mindfulness, and faith and spirituality. So just as a reminder, self-care is a very important aspect of wellness and prevention of burnout. And self-care is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of personal strength, commitment, and success. So we should always keep self-care in mind and really make an effort to really have those type of strategies. I like this quote. It says, "The most powerful relationship you will ever have is a relationship with yourself." So self-care helps you develop that relationship with yourself. And I've talked about developing the relationship with yourself in other videos focusing on emotional intelligence and self-awareness, so you can check that out as well. But also the topic for today with mindfulness and meditation and prayer and faith and spirituality, those are all ways to really develop a strong relationship with yourself as well. Okay, so there's different definitions of mindfulness. This particular definition defines it as paying attention in a particular way, meaning that you pay attention on purpose or deliberately. You pay attention to the present moment, and you are non-judgmental as you are really focusing and paying attention to what is going on around you. So I think this is a basic idea of mindfulness. There's many benefits of mindfulness. That includes developing a calm and accepting awareness of your thoughts and emotions, the ability to tolerate and manage negative emotions, and to not act impulsively. So there's many benefits to practicing mindfulness. Again, the definition is the ability to be purposefully and non-judgmentally attentive to your own experience, thoughts, and feelings. So it's really focusing on your own feelings and your own thoughts in a very purposeful and deliberate way, but importantly, being non-judgmental. So don't think of it as good or bad or positive or negative. Just think about the thoughts that you have, but again, don't focus on any type of judgment related to those thoughts. So it's really, again, being present, being in the now, and it really involves all five senses. So it's really being in the moment and noticing all five senses and what you are feeling through your five senses, right? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? What are you tasting? What are you touching? So that's really important to allow you to be present and being in the now and really being mindful to what is happening. So for example, let's say you're sitting down to eat a meal. So you need to be mindful and practice mindfulness in just eating your meal, and that can allow you to really enjoy and relax and enjoy that meal then. And sometimes we don't do that, right? So really focus on the smell of that meal, right? We focus on the smell and the taste, right? So focus on the smell, and before you even taste it, right? Be in the present. So focus on the smell. Look at your meal, right? Look at the different colors, look at the different textures, right? Listen and try to hear, maybe it's still kind of sizzling or, making some sort of some sound or some sound in the background, just kind of being mindful of where you're at. And then tasting it, right? And then the texture and the touch on your tongue. So again, using all five senses to really get the full feeling of what you are doing at that moment, in the now, in the present. And again, you can practice mindfulness with every meal and use all five senses to really kind of understand what you're doing at that moment and be in that moment then. So part of mindfulness is cherishing each day as if it is your last, cherishing each minute as if it is your last. So it's not just being present, but it's really cherishing that moment, cherishing that day. And then again, really appreciating and being grateful for what is happening at that moment then. And we know again many benefits of mindfulness. It can increase your ability to focus. It can help you relax. It can help you develop compassion and acceptance. Helps you be more productive. Helps you be grateful and show gratitude. And gives you peace of mind and happiness and joy. And also mindfulness and practicing mindfulness can reduce feelings of agitation or anxiety and fatigue and depression and burnout. So we know this from the literature that there's so many benefits of mindfulness that can help in your overall wellness and in prevention of burnout. So again, being present is part of mindfulness, and that requires practice, right? You have to really consciously, deliberately, and on purpose make that effort, and it requires practice. And again, mindfulness really promotes self-awareness. And again, in different videos, I've talked about emotional intelligence and developing self-awareness related to that. And mindfulness is not about being more or about doing more, but about being who you already are. So it's not about multitasking and doing more. And actually that's the opposite of mindfulness. So multitasking, which we always try to do, is actually the opposite of mindfulness. We're always trying to do more, right? We're always trying to do multiple things at the same time, right? And that's actually that actually is not helpful in developing mindfulness. Then, so again, we don't want to do multitasking because that takes away from mindfulness because we're not focusing when we are multitasking. So be mindful of what you're doing, focus on what you're doing, right? And don't rush through what you are doing. Again, that goes against mindfulness as well. So take your time, right? And taking your time allows you to be more productive and efficient and effective, right? So don't multitask and focus and don't rush, right? And unfortunately, a lot of us don't practice mindfulness, and in fact, we're actually kind of mindless. For example, when we're driving to work and we're on the phone at the same time, before we know it, we're at work and we have no idea how we got there or how quickly it took to get there. We don't remember anything that might have happened on the way there, right? Because we're multitasking and we're kind of mindless, right? We do things kind of like automatically and without thinking, right? That's actually mindlessness, which is again the opposite of mindfulness. So again, we need to focus and be mindful. That's very important to our wellness. Then, and also we need to really learn to disconnect with technology. Right now, with our phones, we're always on our phones. We're checking our emails, we're checking our texts, and then we're multitasking. Right, so while we're driving, we're texting or checking our email or whatever. Right, so we're not focusing on what we're doing, and our phones are preventing us from practicing mindfulness. So we have to recognize that and think about that as well. The greatest gift we have to give is our time and attention. And the time to be attentive is always now, right? So always learn to give time and attention to whatever you are doing at that moment, right? And we need to give time and attention to others when we are interacting with them. But also we need to make sure we give time and attention to ourselves, right? That's part of self-care. That's part of mindfulness. It's part of meditation. That's part of resilience. So making sure we are giving time and attention to ourselves as well. So there's many different apps that are available for mindfulness. So these are some of the ones that I know people will tend to use. So you feel free to check these out, and these can help you practice mindfulness and develop the skill of mindfulness then. Okay, so let's move on to meditation. So briefly, I just want to talk about meditation. I don't want to go into a lot of details. You can look it up on your own and get some more information and research about meditation. But I just want to talk about some of the benefits of meditation. So meditation is a mind and body practice for increasing calmness and physical relaxation and improving psychological balance, coping with illness, and enhancing overall health and well-being. Mind and body practices really focus on the interactions between and among the brain, the mind, the body, and your behavior. So there's many benefits of meditation. That includes reducing stress. It can help you feel more calm and relaxed. It can help boost your mood. It reduces anxiety and depression. Can improve your sleep. It helps you concentrate. So the practice of meditation can be very helpful in developing resilience and preventing burnout. So there's lots of different types of meditation practices. So again, I'm not going to go into details about these. You can kind of do more research on your own and find more information and see if any of these resonate with you and if this is something you want to try. But there's lots of different types of meditation that can be very helpful in developing wellness and reducing stress and anxiety and helping you stay resilient and reduce the risk of burning out then. So again, you could kind of look more into these on your own. I don't want to go into too much detail about each individual one of these, but these are different types of meditation that are out there that you can learn more about and practice. Then, and again, there's many apps that can help you with meditation as well. I listed a few of them that I know people will try. So again, you can check these out on your own and see if these apps help you with your meditation, if this is something that you would benefit from at an individual level. So let's move on to faith and spirituality. Research suggests that spiritual beliefs and practices can enhance resilience. They can really help you cope with trauma and grief and losses. And it can really get you through life's challenges and adversity and illness. And faith and spirituality can also give you a renewed sense of purpose and meaning. So there's many benefits that help you to help develop resilience and help prevent burnout. And again, research suggests that practicing religion is associated with physical and emotional well-being, and that can help then protect against depression and suicide. So regular attendance at religious services may foster resilience through allowing for social support, increasing optimism, enhancing altruism, and giving you a sense of meaning and purpose. So again, attending religious services, so going to your mosque or your church or your synagogue or your temple or whatever religious affiliation you might have, but going to a congregation, going to a gathering where religious services are happening can actually have a positive effect on your resilience and help preventing burnout from these perspectives then. So most religion and spiritual practices incorporate some form of prayer, meditation, or mindfulness. So there's a lot of overlap actually between things we have talked about already related to mindfulness and meditation, and then prayer and faith and spirituality. So there's a lot of overlap with all of these areas then. So some suggestions on enhancing your resilience through faith and spirituality. So that might include setting aside a time for prayer or meditation as part of your daily routine. So it could be first thing in the morning or the last thing at night, or maybe on both times of the day. Other suggestions include making a regular habit of reading scriptures, sacred texts, or other writings pertaining to your chosen faith or practice. Other ways to enhance your resilience through faith and spirituality include designating a physical space for your daily spiritual practice. Practice a physically active form of spirituality, such as walking, prayer, or yoga. And then, as I mentioned, become part of a group that worships together and practices together in a congregation. All of these can help enhance your resilience through these practices of faith and spirituality. Okay, so to kind of wrap up here then, so we've been talking about meditation, mindfulness, and faith and spirituality. So I think it's important to kind of think about these and see if any of these resonate with you and they interest you. And you can use some of these self-care techniques to help develop resilience and prevent burnout. And again, in other videos, I've talked about other aspects of self-care. You can check those out as well. And then in other videos, I've talked about other resilience strategies, and I'll be continuing to hopefully make some more videos in the future as well. So check those out as well. So I want to thank you for participating in the video today. I hope you found it beneficial. I look forward to seeing you at future videos as well.